Hey, thanks for slithering in. I'm sure many of you are familiar with James Turner and his website, but did you know he also has a lot of tools where you can generate a lot of fun stuff to kind of spice up your Sims 4 game? For example, I have done the random challenge generator many times, and we're going to hop in. I'll show you that real quick. But that is when you can randomize like a build idea, and I've done this a lot, especially with the tiny home challenge. But today we are randomizing a few traits for a random sim. This is going to give us the premise for our build today because whatever traits pop up is the sim I am building for. So let's generate and see what we get. This is so exciting. So I'm going to build for a musical genius, Muser, cat lover, glutton, goofball. So I decided to renovate an apartment build for this one. We are in 1310 Chic Street. Right now I am deleting everything. I usually don't leave this in, but I did have a floor plan in mind. One that I actually saw on Pinterest. I believe the simmer's name is Color and Space. They have great floor plans, which is just so helpful because recently I have just been drawing such blanks when it comes to apartment renovations, but I absolutely do really love decorating apartments too. So I'm really glad that I got to use this randomly generated traits for these sims to decorate one because that gives me an idea of where we are kind of going for. So we have our layout already and I'm picking out some colors. I definitely wanted to make sure we have this piano. I do want to talk about the lighting because I was having this weird glitch with indoor outdoor lighting on this apartment, and I've been having that glitch on a lot of apartments, which is kind of really strange. So hopefully that gets fixed. But before we get too into the build, I do want to remind you guys that as part of the creator network, I do have my own creator code, and using that will help me out. It'll benefit the channel. I'll get a small commission. So thank you for thinking of me when you're picking up different Sims 4 packs. Here is where I end up putting the stand-up piano, I guess, and I thought it might be fun to add a guitar in here. There's going to be a few different instruments kind of scattered about. I imagine that the sim is maybe has always been a musical sim since a child, so the equipment they have is stuff that maybe has been gifted along the way, and this sim is maybe fresh out of university or fresh out of schooling. I imagine them being a young adult, but I guess that can be fluctuated or whatever. But they moved to Myshuno. Maybe they're working at like a museum or some sort of musical club of some sort. I think that would be really cool to kind of play out as they're beginning their musical career. So the sim aspires to be a musical genius. That is, I think, when they just want to learn a bunch of different musical skills. Okay, so it starts with gaining instrument and music skills and listening to music, but eventually you'll want to start licensing your music and writing your own songs and probably going through the entertainer career, I think, is what I am seeing. But on top of that, we have the Muser trait. That is a bonus trait, and that is pretty much just a bonus trait to help the sim gain skills a little quicker. I imagine the sim living here already has a good amount of music skill, so maybe that's not quite as needed. The other skill that they had is being a cat lover, so there is definitely room in here for a cat, maybe two, if you wanted to, and that's why I wanted to put this frame TV up in the living room because it has this really pretty cat artwork that I absolutely love. So you're gonna see some other cat items scattered throughout, like a cat tree. I got the litter box. It's actually kind of funny because, and maybe it's a spoiler alert for later in the video, but I remembered the litter box, which usually I forget, but I forgot the pet bowl. So we fixed that though, so don't worry about that. Another trait that this sim randomly had is a glutton trait. So the glutton trait means that your sim will have a greater negative reaction to hunger. They always enjoy eating no matter what the quality of the food is, which I think is handy because then your sim can eat spoiled food and they're totally fine. And they'll just pretty much eat almost anything. They will get the famished moodlet instead of hungry. So I imagine that being like more so hangry because who can relate? Okay, sometimes I'm just in a bad mood and my boyfriend's just like, you should probably eat something because you're probably just hungry and you're just crazy. Okay? So, I really had fun. I really leaned into the glutton trait throughout, I would say. I think almost more than any other trait. So, here you can see I put this little end table. I forget what pack that is from. It might be like a backyard, maybe backyard stuff pack, or I'm probably completely misremembering it at all. So I imagine that this table could be pulled out for more like kitchen dining experience seating. That's why I have a folded chair here. But on the table, I am adding the little snack box from the Everyday Clutter Kit and a jar of cookies. So there are going to be snacks readily available, and that's why the kitchen becomes super important here because I clutter it up to the nines with different snacking options and different food. But first, it's going to take me a minute to figure out which counters and cabinets I want to use. I end up going with these base game ones in more of like a warm wood tone. Or do I keep this dark one? No, I think I switched to this one. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. It took me a minute to really figure that out. I also really loved using this couch. I think that's from high school years. And I don't think I've ever really used it in that swatch before, so it definitely added a lot more color in here. And that's gonna like get even better later on. You will see it in just a short while. But the kitchen is full of different pieces of clutter from especially from the kitchen clutter kit, because we have the jars of cookies. I got this fridge here with the different like musical magnets and posters up there, which I thought was super fun. I thought about trying to put a dining table, but that wasn't gonna work. So I think I keep this half wall and I end up putting that like rollaway island cart thing that also came from the kitchen clutter kit. You'll see it and you'll probably know exactly what I'm talking about when we get there. Also, recently, before I get into the rest of the traits for the sim, we got a couple of new Create a Sim kits. No, not, well, one of them is a Create a Sim kit. What I mean is a creator kit. Two of them. So the first one is Peacemaker's Grunge Mudroom kit. I'm probably completely butchering that, but you will see some of those items show up a little later because I started this right before the kit got released, and then I finished it the day of it got released. The second Create a Sim kit we got is the Essential Glam kit. I decided not to pick that one up for myself because I just don't use Create a Sim kits very often, and I was like, there's no point in me getting it. But I am hosting a giveaway for both on all of my socials, and it's in my YouTube community tab as well. So make sure you go and check that out if you want a chance to win either one of those. Anyway, back to the kitchen, we get the popcorn maker. I never use that one in any of my builds, so I thought that was actually really fun to add. We're also getting more cookie jars and things of that nature. I think the little island way is cluttered too on the bottom with maybe a tablet for recipes and cutting boards, but up on top we have the cereal boxes and like grocery bag that hasn't been put away yet. The final trait that this sim has is the Goofball trait. This trait will give your sim some random playful moodlets, which I think is really fun. And it's very ideal, I feel like, for relationship building as well, if I'm remembering what I read. I have some stuff up, but I don't know. I'll be honest, I lost my train of thought and my place, so we're here again. Anyway, we're still cluttering up the kitchen. I think this is the longest room, or it's the room I spent the longest on. Those are the words. But it was really hard to kind of portray Goofball for me. So let me know in the comments down below how you would portray Goofball. I was hoping some of the colors would kind of help. Like we have these beautiful blue, orange, and yellow tiles. Those are from Love Struck. Those are just wall decor pieces, which I think is super fun. And I don't know, I just kind of really couldn't get the Goofball thing down. The bedroom, I had a lava lamp. I was like, that's kind of goofy, right? I don't know, maybe? So you guys tell me, but maybe having a cat, like, I guess I wouldn't necessarily say goofy interior decorating. I guess it would be like funny artwork and stuff, and there's definitely a lot of like food artwork around. So maybe they just lean into that a little bit. But here we are actually pulling out some of the new items from the Grange mudroom kit. I should really look that up, but honestly, I'm being really lazy right now. So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But I really do like these items. I can't wait to use more of them in my entryways and stuff. I also imagine they would be good in laundry rooms, so stay tuned. I'm gonna do more with that kit pretty soon. I've been having some weird like builder's block recently, so that's why this generator kind of really helped me get something completed. So it really did help. I did put a rug too from the new kit, and in the bathroom I used the new flooring and wallpaper, which I think are really, really pretty. So the bathroom's not too super big, and I'm sorry my mouse did something funny there. So I should explain too, because I actually went ahead and splurged on myself a little bit, but not even. I've been having some issues with my keyboard, so I went and got like a Bluetooth keyboard mouse combo set. The keyboard's been great, but the mouse, not so great, so I actually switched back to my wired mouse, but it was making it really hard to build sometimes, and it was just kind of weird, and that's why you saw the camera jump like that. Anyway, that's a lot of information. Let's talk about the build. The bathroom isn't too big, but we end up being able to fit a litter box in here. I thought about putting it under the sink, but I was like, I don't think that's gonna be functional. Although it would have been nice to try it, I ended up not trying it because I was like, I really don't have faith that it would be functional. So we don't use it. I played around with trying to get that cabinet piece from the new kit too, but I felt like it was just kind of blocking the view with the walls down. I've been trying to be a little more mindful of that, especially the more I do gameplay as well. I'm noticing that it can be a little annoying if there's just items floating. So that's just my personal thoughts there. I'm just trying to be a little more mindful of those things. We're just about done with the bathroom though. We are getting some little clutter pieces and I think just a rug. But other than that, we have one more room to decorate, and that would be the bedroom, which I actually had a lot of fun. We definitely carry in some more of the oranges and yellows. We have a closet over here, which I think would be important for some storage. Again, the lighting is just so weird. I just can't stand it. But we are going to get these Desert Luxe curtains. I think I get a Seasons bed. And it's so embarrassing. I know, or at least I knew when I was building this, I knew there was a rug that was a piano. Like it had the piano keys. It took me way too long to find that. I was like sorting through different packs and really trying to figure it out. And I was like, where is that rug? Right now I have a different one, because that was before I remembered that that rug actually existed, but I definitely had to do that. On the wall art for the bedroom, we do a lot of the food. We got Bob pancakes up here. I think I get like the eggs and bacon artwork from, I can't even remember what packs those are from. I'm really starting to have a hard time keeping up with all these pack names, so I'm sorry. But see, like you said, I couldn't find it. You can see me now. I'm searching through and I finally found it. I think it's actually City Living. It is, because I remember laughing at myself because I'm like, I'm literally building a partner or an apartment in San Myshuno. Like, duh, City Living. But anyway, we are going to just clutter up the rest of this room. I end up moving the cat tree over where this dresser is. This dresser is really pretty. It's from Businesses and Hobbies, and I really want to use more of it. I actually really like it. I don't know why I don't. I ended up getting the little DJ set booth here, which I think also came with City Living, and we're just going to put some wall art on the wall as well. But I think that is pretty much it. Like this neon sign, I think that's from Cozy Kitsch kit, or it's from another creator kit, I think. Anyway, so many packs. I didn't limit any of my pack usage. I should use that. I probably should have said that earlier, but yeah, I totally forgot, and that is on me. But the rest of this room comes together pretty quickly. We get a violin, and I think I just put a couple of items and more wall art over on this wall, so it's pretty simple. But we are actually going to hop into live mode like we do every video, and I'm going to show it to you in real time. Just do a quick little walkthrough. Oh, I forgot. I should probably mention I put a mini fridge and a microwave in here, you know, because glutton. I just thought it made sense. In my mind, it made sense. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in just a hot second in live mode. Okay, before we hop in and walk through this build, I do want to share that I fixed the outdoor-indoor lighting issue we were having where I couldn't put a ceiling up on the apartment build. Crazy. So pretty much, I saved the version with no ceiling as a room. I put it on a random lot in Newcrest, added the ceiling to it, resaved it as a room with a ceiling, then came back to the apartment in San Myshuno and placed it down. So this has been placed down in 131021 Chic Street, and this is also a good time to show you how it works when you put apartments into your build or your save from the gallery. The way I do it is I deleted some walls here to make this whole place outline as one room, because you'll see when I add the walls back, I don't know why it has to jump like that, but now we have all of these different separate rooms, right? So we can't just pick it up and save this whole thing room when they're all walled off, but you'll just have to add the walls back and of course add all of the different wallpapers back. And then you are all set to get started. So of course here is our entryway. I'll have our sim come up here too. She was downstairs watching a protest. We should actually probably play test this piano. Maybe we'll just make sure we can sit, because I have this clutter item here from the new Grange mudroom kit, as well as some other items from that kit. You'll see the shoes and rain boots and some items on top of here. So she's just gonna sit right on top of them, but you know what? That's okay, because the sim that lives here is kind of goofball and I'm fine with that. We also have a guitar over here. This is like her little musical corner. The entryway has these new hooks and artwork from the new Grange mudroom kit by Peacemaker. Absolutely love them. Here in the kitchen, we've kind of already done some playtesting because I had some technical difficulties with my mic and I did it all and nothing got recorded. But the popcorn maker worked. We were able to prep this food here, so I'm going to put that in the fridge. But basically, this kitchen, I really wanted it to scream that a glutton lives here, because that's one of the randomized traits, right? So we have cookie jars all over the place. The popcorn maker I felt like was much for easy snacking. Cereal boxes, a bag of groceries still left out. And I used this fridge as well from the kitchen clutter kit, and it has these fun little decals and magnets and stuff that allude to her or the sim, him or her, being very musical. The bathroom over here is also play tested. It is fairly simple. I used a new wallpaper and flooring from the Grange mudroom kit because when I was wrapping up this build, it was brand new, and now I'm just realizing that this does not match. This half wall does not match the rest of the bathroom, so we're gonna fix that. But it's completely functional. We even have a litter box here for your cat lover sim. I imagine that the sim who lives here would probably at least get one, maybe two cats. That just reminds me, I don't have pet bowls. Oh my god, that is not going to work. Let's go and find one. Maybe we'll get one in like this cute little pink swatch, and I think we'll place it right here. There's not much other places really to put it, so that'll work for me for now. Anyway, here is our living space. I really had fun. We have some more cookies over here for easy access snacking, as well as like a little snack box. I also imagine that this table here, it looks like you can like unfold it so that it can be a full table. So we have a chair here. Maybe in the closet there's like more of these chairs all folded up stuff, but I didn't want to put too many out here either. I also really love the color scheme. I've never used this couch before, at least in this swatch. I think this is from high school years, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I really love all the food artwork too. And there's, whoops, right up here, there's more in the bedroom, so let's go look at that. Here is the bedroom, more oranges and fun colors happening. I love the piano rug. It took me forever to find it, but we got it. We have a nice little lava lamp, kind of alluding to Goofball energy. I feel like it could be a little bit of a Goofball thing to have, maybe. Let me know if I'm way out of line there. But we have Bob pancakes up here. We have this artwork with like breakfast foods. So if this was in my bedroom, I'd be hungry all of the time. So dangerous. Over here is where I believe there is a closet because I put one here, but this is where I believe all the different chairs and stuff is maybe folded up and stored. We have a violin. We also have a DJ booth here that is functional, so I will make sure we show that. And another fun touch in this bedroom, I thought it'd be cool to have maybe a mini fridge and a microwave in here for the sim. Maybe they're working hard on their set list or editing some music or something, and they get hungry and they want to graze a little bit, so they just have snacks at the ready all of the time. Well, that has been the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If you want to see me do more apartment builds or maybe even regular builds based off of random sim traits, let me know. I really do enjoy a lot of James Turner's randomly generated items, so I'd love to do some more. Also, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get notified of the next one. Special shout out as always to my channel members. You guys super rock for supporting me in this way. And yeah, that's about it. I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!